Coffee and Careers with me, Gail and Ann, Careers Manager for the Adam Smith Business School.
And me, Ann Duff, Careers Manager for the College of Arts.
So, Anne, today we're going to be tackling some common graduate labour market myths. So, as careers advisors, we often get students coming in and asking questions, which actually turn out to be kind of common myths. So, we're going to actually tackle 5 of our kind of top myths, and actually shed a little bit of light and talk about some of the realities of those. So, the first one that I'm going to start the conversation off with is, if I want to get a good graduate job, do I have to move to London?
No. Are we in London? No, absolutely not. I think where that comes from is that historically London has been the place to go for the money, the really expert level jobs, but it's not the case anymore. That has not been the case for quite some time now. Yes, it's still an amazing place to go to because it is a huge city. It's a massive global city. It's got really good opportunities for graduates across all occupational areas. But it's really interesting that we have noticed several trends coming out in what we call the labour market, one of which is that London is not the only urban centre. So you've got all of these other cities across the whole of the UK and Northern Ireland. So Belfast, Glasgow, Edinburgh, Birmingham and Manchester, just for example, all have their unique labour markets and really strong industries that they recruit into. So that's something that you should look into, each sort of city and what their unique labour market is. And there's a really useful commentator called Charlie Ball who has fab information about the labour market breakdown of...
We'll put a link up to Charlie's resources just in the section below. And one of the things I would say is that I guess where this myth kind of comes from is that there are large numbers of graduate jobs in London. So the Institute of Student Employers, ISE, say about 39% of their members' vacancies are actually in London. So I guess we see a large number of vacancies coming out of London, but it doesn't mean that it's the only place that you can actually get a graduate job. And in fact, Prospect said around 70% of graduates actually have gone on to work in the actual same city that they actually grew up in as well. So actually there is a large number of graduates who perhaps aren't necessarily going to London, but are actually going to their home city as well. And about 4 out of 5 graduates actually work outside of London. So there is opportunities outside of London.
Absolutely.
So that's the first one then, that not all graduate jobs are in London. There are opportunities outside of the capital city that you can explore. So the second question that we're going to tackle today is, does your degree dictate what you should actually do with your future career? And where I'm coming to with this is quite often we'll have students coming in and saying, Anne, I'm studying this degree, what should I do? And is that the right place to start?
I think you're going to see a theme here. No. Again, absolutely not. It's a myth exactly for what you say. Quite often if you're doing a vocational course, there might be a logical linear path from it. But usually people come to university and they study non-vocational degrees. So there is no kind of defined career path. There are lots of employers out there who, when they put their recruitment information out, they specify on it any degree discipline. And that's for things like marketing, HR, finance, even accountancy even. So yes, there's certain things that you have to have, engineering, for example, civil engineering. You can't become a civil engineer if you haven't done civil engineering. Those things are kind of obvious. But 60% of the labour market graduate jobs are for students of any degree discipline.
Yep, so that's the big kind of graduate schemes. And even things like social work, for example, there is a graduate scheme now where you can actually go and study to become a social worker after doing your first degree as well. So I wouldn't just start with your degree subject. There is actually a large volume of opportunities out there for grads of any degree discipline too. So the kind of third question that we're going to tackle then, that we get asked quite often, I guess this is for earlier year students. Sometimes earlier year students become a little bit concerned that if they don't get an internship, then they won't actually get a graduate job. So if I don't get an internship, I won't get a graduate job, is the kind of myth, I guess, that you would say there.
And there's no denying that having an internship is a huge advantage. Absolutely, there's no denying that. We are really encouraging our students from first year right through your study to look for internships and take up those opportunities. Absolutely. And quite often with an internship is early recruitment indicator that the employer will think you've performed really well in my internship, so I'm going to offer you a graduate job. So there's students that do those kind of schemes that could be sitting with an offer of a graduate position. However, are the only people that get the graduate jobs people who've done the internships? No.
Oh,
there's lots of other things that employers are looking for.
Exactly. So it's thinking about, if you don't manage to secure an internship, what else can you do to actually develop your skills and experience? So employers look at a range of skills and experience that you have. So, you can do work shadowing, so a shorter term piece of experience. You can get involved in clubs and societies. You can think about your hobbies and interests.
Yeah,
and actually,
your part-time job.
How you're building your skills and experience. An internship, yes, is fantastic, but if you don't manage to secure an internship, do look at the range of skills and experiences that you're developing at university, and they can all be fantastic things for you to actually speak to an employer. So for example, some of our students who do studying abroad, that's a fantastic thing to chat to employers about. Gives you great examples of times where you've worked with people from different backgrounds, where you've worked in lots of different team situations as well. So look at your experience and think about what sort of skills you need to develop, and there's a range of activities you can get involved in at university that can help with that.
So employer is looking for a certain set of skills. They don't care where you've got them from, as long as you can demonstrate that you have them.
Exactly. Okay. So thinking about developing it in other ways. Okay, so the next one then we're going to tackle, number 4, is the more jobs I apply for, the more likely I am to be successful. So is volume the key to success, Anne?
We were talking earlier and you used the phrase, it's quality over quantity. 99 job applications is a lot. And if you do 99 job applications, is every one of those going to be focused, targeted, thought through, really speaking to the essential criteria, the desirable criteria as far as you can? Unless you're superhuman, I really think not.
Sometimes students will want me to give them a magic number, like you should apply for X number of jobs, 5, 10, 15 number of jobs. There's not a magic number as such. What I would say is think about the time that you have available outside of your studies and make sure that you are spending quality time on each application. So actually prioritise which companies you want to work for and think about spending quality time applying. The other end of the scale, I wouldn't say just put all your eggs in one basket and apply for one role and hope that you're actually going to get through that. It can be a competitive process, so you do want to, widen your search out and think about maximising your opportunities. But yeah, definitely that quality over quantity is make sure that you give enough time to each application. And as Anne said, if you're applying to 99 perhaps in a month or so, you're unlikely to be doing a really good job at each of those applications.
I was recently speaking to the director of a theatre company, and she said when they put their roles up, when they're recruiting and they put their roles up, and she says, you get somebody pinging in an hour after it's gone live, and she says, I know that person has, I know this is going to be a really broad generic application, because there's no way in an hour that they've been able to craft a really good application for this specific job. So be careful of that, getting it in too tight as soon as it goes live.
So quality over quantity. Okay, the final myth that we want to bust then is that more and more people are doing degrees. So if I go and do postgraduate degree, that's what's going to make me more employable. Now that kind of question comes with a bit of a caveat that I guess for some areas of work but yes, doing a postgraduate degree is the right option. So
for some areas of work, it's essential, Gail. I mean, for our jobs, for example, careers guidance, teaching. I mean, there's lots of occupations out there that you have to have a professional qualification to be able to do the job. So that's definitely one caveat that sits within it.
But the major thing that we would say is to really think about what it is that you actually want to go do, because just jumping into postgraduate study and adding that to your undergraduate degree is not necessarily going to make you stand out to an employer. So really think about why you're doing postgraduate study and if it's the right option for the role that you're going into. So don't just jump straight into a course. Really take some time to think about which course is right, which course is going to add value to your undergraduate degree, and which course might be better for the occupation that you're actually going into too.
And we don't want to diminish the fact that some people decide to do postgraduate study purely for the academic enjoyment of it, and there's nothing wrong with that. But again, we would urge you to always be thinking about all of the other things that you can do alongside it, all of the little add-ons that employers really love to see, because in and of itself, an additional academic qualification doesn't really mean that much in the world of work.
So it's about not just your degree, but what else that you can actually add to that. Your degree is your baseline knowledge, but what else are you add in that? Yeah. So yes, a postgraduate degree can be great, but it's really thinking about what you're adding to your current studies and how that fits in with your future profession as well. Okay, so those are 5 kind of, I guess, key myths that we wanted to bust today. We will put some more information linking to some of the stuff that we've discussed in the description of the video today. If you haven't already, then please do like, comment and subscribe. And we hope to see you again next time on Coffee and Careers.